Hey guys, today I want to make a video on study materials I recommend for the Pcat. It has been a year since I've taken the Pcat. I just want to throw out any tips or recommendations I have before I start making actual pharmacy student videos, because I will be starting pharmacy school very soon. Just keep in mind that this is my advice from my personal experience. I believe that the best way to learn is sometimes through mistakes. I strongly feel like this material would help a lot of people out, and a lot of people learn differently. A lot of people did well in undergrad and wouldn't need as much stuff, but for those who want the advice, this is my recommendation. If you watched my Pcat experience and results video, I didn't totally do the best, but I did do well in chemistry and biology. I do have a recommendation for the things that I didn't do so well at. Yeah, let's get started. If you've done your research, you probably know about Kaplan and Dr. Collins. Those are the two most popular study guides out there for the Pcat. I took the 2016 July Pcat, and so when I first started thinking about studying for the Pcat was in 2015. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I was actually planning to take the Pcat a year prior, and I didn't go around to actually doing it. So that's why my Kaplan book is actually a lot older. It is the 2013 to 2014 text, but I feel like there's only a little difference between the new and the old edition books, even with regular textbooks, so I thought it was fine. I used Kaplan mainly for biology. That's what it's commonly used for. I only looked at the biology section because I wanted to invest my time mostly on Dr. Collins since I was in a time crunch. So here's my book. And as you can see, most of the pages are blank, but in the biology section I do have some stickies and some highlights. If I went back to retake the Pcat, I would definitely use Kaplan for the biology section. Okay, so now let's talk about chemistry. If you know anything about Dr. Collins, you know that it's not in a textbook format, and if you don't know, when you order Dr. Collins self-study guide, it comes in this box like this. The study guides actually come in yellow envelopes like this, and they're divided into a bunch of different subjects like reading, math, biology, chemistry, and okay, I'll show you an example of the chemistry. Each packet has a bunch of white papers in here. These are all the study guides for the chemistry portion. Each packet has a table of contents in front of it, and it includes inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry, and biochemistry. For the chemistry portion of the study guide, there is a separate packet of all the practice exams. And in here has a bunch of practice exams. I think there's at least 10, maybe more, probably 20. But here's, as you know, the new Pcat does have passage-based questions in them, and I believe each year Dr. Collins doesn't edit anything prior from his study guide. He just adds new material from the previous exams. Some of these practice exams do have passage-based problems in there. Here's an example. There's a passage on the bottom, passage with some questions. This was the key thing for me for the chemistry part of the Pcat, because I didn't do extremely well in chemistry. I did okay, I didn't do too bad. I believe that biology was my strength in my undergrad, but I actually did more than 10 percentile higher in the chemistry portion. I strongly recommend to just focus on Dr. Collins for the chemistry portion. So now for my weaknesses. For the math portion of the exam, I didn't study for it at all. Probably the day before, the 2 days before the actual Pcat, I actually sat down and looked at the math stuff. Math was always my weakest point, and since I was cramming, I just felt like you either know it or you don't. I did take the actual live Pcat class, Dr. Collins' class. I believe the subject I got the most out of in the class was math, because of all the pointers I got, even though I didn't do too well because I didn't study after that class. I got so many tips and tricks on how to quickly choose an answer, because the Pcat is all about a timed test. It's not just about how you know, but how fast you can work. And with 50 questions on the math section, and they're like half word problems, it can be really rough. I feel like Dr. Collins has mostly short answer problems, and now the Pcat has more long word problems. I'm not too sure. Math is pretty much the only subject that I'm not totally confident on getting study help from, besides the Pearson exams. So as for reading, I did so well on the practice exams in Dr. Collins' study guide that I felt really confident. I felt like this was gonna be the portion that was gonna bump up my composite for sure. A couple days before the exam, I actually bought the Pearson online exam. When I took that, I realized that the Pearson exams for the critical reading portion was so much tougher than what Dr. Collins provided. On the Pcat, it was actually the same toughness level as the Pearson exams. I highly do not recommend Dr. Collins' portion for the reading exam. After I took the Pcat, I was planning on retaking it, and one of my friends had Mcat cracker books. When I skimmed through it, I realized the level of difficulty and the language and the vocabulary in the Mcat cracker books are actually very, very similar to the Pcat. I ended up picking up the Mcat crackers. This says right here, it's for verbal reasoning. It's all passage questions. It's not like the old verbal reasoning part of the Pcat. It's formatted just like the Pcat, and you can see there's passages right here, and then there's questions right here. Yeah, if I could have went back, I would have definitely used this. This is so good. It has 101 passages in there, so that will definitely prepare you for sure. Another tip I want to give out is if I could go back, I would purchase Pearson practice exams right from the beginning. I know they're kind of expensive. I think it was like 3 exams for $90. I feel like that is your best bet to knowing exactly how the Pcat's gonna be like, and it times you and everything. I believe you can only take it one time. You can buy 3 tests total, and I would buy all 3 because the bundle is a better deal than to buy 1 or 2 exams. What I would do is I would use 1 exam to take in the very beginning. Before you even start studying at all, take 1 exam and see where you score. It does give you a rough estimate. I actually did better on the actual Pcat for the science portions compared to the Pearson exams, but it wasn't a way off or anything like that. I would first advise to take that exam first and then see where you're at. See where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and you can focus on your weaknesses first or more strongly if you have a lot of time. And after that, I would begin studying. To recap, I would use Kaplan for the biology, Dr. Collins for chemistry, Mcat crackers, verbal reasoning for critical reading. For math, I feel like the best bet is probably to go for Dr. Collins. I definitely think you can study outside of Dr. Collins. I'm not totally confident on that. During the mid-set of your studying, you should take the second test and then see where you're at. See if you're improving, and if not, you can pick up a different material. I know that the Kaplan comes with 2 practice exams, and I guess you can just take that just to take it, but I hear that it's nothing like the Pcat at all, and if anything, it's way harder than the actual Pcat. Maybe if you take that and you do well on it, you feel like you might not even need to study at all. So I hope this video is helpful for those who are currently studying for the Pcat or are thinking about starting to take it. I know it's a lot of money but this is something to invest into your future. You want to just take it one time and then get accepted, because if you don't invest, you're just gonna end up taking the test twice. I'm planning to put out more videos soon. I know I've been slacking. I've just been relaxing and appreciating my summer a little bit because it was so hectic for me last year. I'm planning to put out a video on my review on Dr. Collins' live class and things I wish I knew before pharmacy school interviews, things I wish I knew before taking the actual test, the testing day. Let me know if you guys would be interested in those type of videos. Alright guys, so that's all I have for you today, and until next time, bye!